Welcome back, everyone. It's time to take a look at how the Dividend Kings performed in September, and review the 4 strategies to picking the best Dividend Kings, to see how they performed last month as well. And most importantly, to select the best Dividend Kings for the current month. There are a total of 32 Dividend Kings right now, according to the list published on suredividend.com. September was not a kind month to the royalty of dividend stocks. Collectively, the 32 Dividend Kings had an average return of minus 5.33%. That's a worse loss than the S&P for the month. Year to date, the average Dividend King return is 10.84%, which is a decent return, but by no means have the Dividend Kings been the best place for dividend investors to park their cash this year. I believe there is a way to invest in the Dividend Kings and achieve a much better return, because not all Dividend Kings are equal. One Dividend King is up over 40% this year, 2 more have returns in excess of 30%, and an additional 5 Dividend Kings are up more than 20% year to date. But how do we determine which Dividend Kings can offer better returns going forward versus the entire Dividend King universe? I propose 4 strategies that in theory can beat the Dividend King universe, by selecting a handful of Dividend Kings to invest in each month. The keyword here is in theory, because there is no guarantee that any investing strategy will work out. I started tracking the results of these 4 strategies in July of this year. So with September on the books now, I have 3 months worth of results, which is 1 full quarter of data. And I can say that thus far, the strategies are proving to work. 3 of the 4 strategies outperformed the Dividend King universe in September, and all 4 strategies are beating the universe during the 3 months of history I have thus far. If you're enjoying the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss future content. Alright, let's jump right in and go over each strategy. First up, we have the chowder strategy, which is a way of selecting stocks based on dividend yield and dividend growth. If you're not familiar with the chowder number, it is the sum of the current dividend yield and the 5-year dividend growth rate. The way I use it in this strategy is to compute the chowder number for each of the 32 Dividend Kings, and then I select the 8 Dividend Kings with the largest chowder number for inclusion in the portfolio. Let's take a look at how the chowder portfolio performed in September. The 8 chowder stocks from last month were Hormel that lost 9.97%, Lowe's that lost 0.51%, Altria Group that lost 7.69%, Nordson that lost 0.19%, Stepan that lost 3.93%, SJW Group that lost 4.72%, Cisco that lost 0.85%, and Universal Corporation that lost 4.49%. All 8 chowder stocks ended the month with negative returns, but the combined return for this portfolio was minus 4.04%. That is 1.29% better than the Dividend King universe return. A very solid and much needed month for the strategy that got off to a pretty weak start, but is now making up ground quickly. The buy and hold portfolio for this strategy finished the month a little better, with a loss of 3.99%. The 3-month return for this portfolio is a negative 2.05%, with the buy and hold portfolio doing a little bit better with a return of minus 1.98%. Negative returns are never nice to see, but they have no value unless you compare them to a benchmark. In this case, the benchmark is the Dividend King universe of stocks, and I will do the 3-month comparison at the end of the episode for all of the portfolios together. The chowder portfolio remained unchanged between July and September, with the same 8 Dividend Kings having the best chowder number. But we do have one change for the month of October, and it was a very close call. Cisco drops off the list and is replaced by American States Water, that has a chowder number that is 0.03% better. So the 8 chosen Dividend Kings for the chowder portfolio for October are American States Water, Hormel, Lowe's, Altria Group, Nordson, Stepan, SJW Group, and Universal Corporation. Strategy number 2 are the best Dividend Kings based on expected growth. These are the 8 Dividend Kings with the highest analyst forecasted earnings growth. Let's go over the September return for this portfolio. Up first, we have ABM Industries that lost 9.11%. Cincinnati Financial lost 6.95%. Dover Corporation lost 10.82%. H.B. Fuller lost 4.45%. Lowe's lost 0.51%. Nordson lost 0.19%. Stanley Black & Decker lost 8.92%. And Cisco lost 0.85%. This portfolio also sees all 8 stocks finish last month with a negative return. The portfolio return for September was minus 5.23%, which is a narrow win of 0.1% over the Dividend King universe. Not much alpha here last month, but any alpha is good, and it all adds up over the months. The buy and hold portfolio for this strategy performed better last month, with a loss of 4.93%. The buy and hold portfolio includes a total of 9 Dividend Kings, since we have had a change in the portfolio composition in this strategy. The 3-month return for strategy number 2 is minus 1.37%, with the buy and hold portfolio performing 0.32% better thus far. There are no changes to the portfolio for the month of October. So ABM Industries, Cincinnati Financial, Dover, H.B. Fuller, Lowe's, Nordson, Stanley Black & Decker, and Cisco are the October selections for strategy number 2. Strategy number 3 is an add-on to strategy number 2. In this strategy, the analyst forecasted earnings growth rate is combined with the current under or overvaluation based on dividend yield theory. And again, the 8 dividend kings with the best forecast are chosen for inclusion in the portfolio. Let's take a look at how the selections from September performed last month. We have ABM Industries that lost 9.11%, H.B. Fuller that lost 4.45%, Hormel that lost 9.97%, Lowe's that lost 0.51%, Nordson that lost 0.19%, Stanley Black & Decker that lost 8.92%, Cisco that lost 0.85%, and Tootsie Roll that lost 3.85%. Once more, all 8 chosen dividend kings have a negative return for the month. The portfolio return for this strategy in September was minus 4.73%, which is 0.6% better than the dividend king universe. It's a poor return in the sense that it's negative, but compared to the benchmark, the month ended quite nicely. The buy and hold strategy to this portfolio performed worse last month, with a return of minus 5.05%. The buy and hold portfolio contains a total of 11 dividend kings, as we have had quite a few changes in this portfolio already. The 3-month return for strategy number 3 is 0.69%, while the buy and hold portfolio is up only 0.14%. Last month there were 3 changes to the portfolio composition, but we only have 1 change for October. Tootsie Roll drops out of the portfolio and is replaced by Northwest Natural Gas. So the 8 chosen dividend kings for October are ABM Industries, H.B. Fuller, Hormel, Lowe's, Nordson, Northwest Natural Gas, Stanley Black & Decker, and Cisco. And finally, strategy number 4, the quant strategy, that pits my first 3 strategies against Wall Street. With the quant strategy, the portfolio is made up of the 8 dividend kings with the best Wall Street analyst rating. Let's take a look at how the selections from September performed last month. First up, we have ABM Industries with a loss of 9.11%. Black Hills Corporation lost 10.76%. H.B. Fuller lost 4.45%. Johnson & Johnson lost 6.72%. Lowe's lost 0.51%. Parker Hannifin lost 5.75%. PPG Industries lost 10.37%. And Stanley Black & Decker lost 8.92%. So once more, all 8 chosen dividend kings finished the month with negative returns. And I don't know if you noticed, many of the individual returns for this strategy were pretty bad. The return for this portfolio for September was minus 7.07%, which is 1.74% worse than the dividend king universe. Looks like Wall Street analyst picks were pretty poor for September. The buy and hold portfolio for this strategy performed a little better, losing 6.98% for the month. During the past 3 months, the strategy is down 2.17%, with the buy and hold portfolio having a slightly worse return of minus 2.63%. A pretty bad showing here for strategy number 4, but let's wait to pass judgment until we compare the full 3-month return to the dividend king universe. But first, let's see what changes we have for the month of October for this strategy. There are 3 changes for October. Johnson & Johnson, Parker & Hannifin, and PPG Industries drop off, and are replaced by Emerson Electric, Coca-Cola, and Nordson. There was actually a 4-way tie for the 8th highest quant rating of 4.0. As a tiebreaker, I used the highest forecasted earnings growth combined with valuation. The winner of the tiebreaker was Nordson, with a 12.37 forecasted growth rate, beating out Cincinnati Financial, Johnson & Johnson, and Parker Hannifin. Okay, let's circle back to the returns for a minute. The best strategy during September was the chowder strategy, with a loss of 4.04%. The forecasted growth combined with valuation strategy finished second with a loss of 4.73%. The forecasted growth strategy finished third with a loss of 5.23%. The dividend king universe finished the month with a loss of 5.33%. And the worst performing strategy was the quant strategy with a 7.07% loss. After 3 months of results, all 4 strategies are still beating the dividend king universe. The return for the dividend king universe is minus 2.91%. The quant strategy is performing the worst of the 4 strategies with a loss of 2.17%. The chowder strategy moves up to 3rd place now with a loss of 2.05%. The forecasted growth strategy is sitting in 2nd place with a loss of 1.37%. And the best performing strategy thus far is the expected growth combined with valuation strategy, with a return of 0.69%. It is also the only strategy that still holds on to a positive return. The buy and hold portfolios to each strategy also remain ahead of the dividend king universe after 3 months. The expected growth combined with valuation is also the best strategy under the buy and hold approach, with a return of 0.14%. The expected growth strategy is second with a loss of 1.05%. The chowder strategy is third with a loss of 1.98%. The quant strategy is fourth with a loss of 2.63%. And the dividend king universe, of course, is down 2.91%. There were 2 dividend kings that finished September with positive returns. Unfortunately, neither of them found their way into any of our portfolios. The best return last month of 2.23% came from National Fuel and Gas. The only other Dividend King that had a positive return was Farmers and Merchants Bancorp, that tacked on 1.88%. The best Dividend King year to date through month-end September is Federal Realty Trust with a 42.5% return. In second place, we have Cincinnati Financial with a return of 32.89%. And in third place, we have National Fuel and Gas with a return of 31.06%. Personally, I think each of the 4 strategies I laid out has the ability to beat the Dividend King universe over a longer period of time. I intend to track the progress to see if one of these strategies proves to be better than the rest. I also think a big appeal of these strategies is that they are quite simple. They are simple to understand and to implement, which is very important because the simpler your strategy is, the less room you have to make mistakes. If you know of any other simple strategies that could be applied to the Dividend King universe, please let me know. That's it for today. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.